This will probably be my first real vlog, I think, ever. I wanted to make this video because I think this is a really interesting moment in time in my life, and I wanted to capture that and share that with whoever watches this, I guess. I think the last few months have been transformational for me, and I have a lot of really positive energy right now. And I've found it to be very contagious with the people that I spend time with. And so I want to just capture a little bit of that here. I think the biggest thing that's happened recently is that I started a company over in April, so 3 months ago now. And that has been one of the most transformational things I think that I've done in a little while. It has just changed my mind about what business can be and what it can do. I'm now just seeing the world through a different lens. There's so many opportunities lying around and so many opportunities that you can create for others as well, which is really cool. I am lucky in that I saved enough money from working as a software engineer over the last couple of years so that I could hire someone that I've actually worked with before from day one, essentially. And she has been an amazing person to work with and collaborate with. And now we're at the point where I'm starting to create opportunities for more people that I know that are just really smart and capable. And these aren't like massive opportunities. These we're talking like part-time things overall, except for CY. She actually joined full-time, which is awesome. And I'm just starting to understand like what you can do. Like business doesn't have to be this like really cutthroat evil thing. I think actually there's the potential for a lot of good. And what I'm really seeing too is that my creativity is skyrocketing. My interest in thinking about non-engineering things, someone with a software engineering background has significantly increased. Like I am now enjoying spending time thinking about different business things, like just what our business model is, and to that end, actually, we have I think a pretty interesting one that actually really reflects, me and what I value. So there's a lot of great things to think about, and it really caters to someone like me, I think, who may or may not be ADHD. I don't know. Verdict's out on that one, but it's been really special to be able to just jump from like, I don't know, half a dozen different projects. We're lucky in that we actually started off with clients off the bat. So essentially what we're doing is we're a software agency. Right now we have about 5 or 6 clients. We have like 1 or 2 in the pipeline still. And so we're profitable basically from day one, which is fantastic. It means that we now have, we have infinite runway. We can think, long-term and make some really long-term bets. And what's really cool there is that I haven't had to try too hard to find clients so far. I think having worked for a number of years as a software engineer at different companies made it so that I have been able to meet a number of people in different working capacities, not just in software engineering. And they've gone on to maybe start companies, or maybe they have friends who started companies. And so I'm lucky that in this moment I have a number of people that I can contact to get opportunities from, essentially, as far as contracting goes. And so that's kind of how we got that going. But the goal here isn't to scale up an agency. I'm not trying to build like this massive agency. I view it as a means to an end. At the end of the day, I'm trying to actually build a portfolio of software products that selfishly scratch different itches that I have, particularly in language learning and in mixed reality. And so to that end, I think we've been succeeding in the sense that this has been so much fun, so fulfilling. Like I work harder and longer than I ever have in any of my other jobs, but I'm the furthest I've ever been from any kind of burnout. I think a lot of us suffer from a meaning crisis. I think there are a lot of jobs that exist, but not enough jobs really cater to us as individuals. They don't really speak to us and to our interests and to our agency and to all of these unique facets of ourselves. I'm trying to create a workplace that really encourages play. But I think what's cool is that we have the agency side of it so that we're always kind of grounded. We're not just like up high and looking for, have our heads in the sky looking at these crazy ideas that will, may or may not ever produce anything. Instead, we are working with a variety of companies that are solving different problems. And so we get exposed to these, current problems that use a variety of different approaches to solving those problems. And of course we get, paid for that. And so by balancing this, work that is a means to an end with this other work that is really inherently creative and interesting and fulfilling, has been a really interesting combination. At first it was an experiment, but now I'm convinced that it can be it's actually quite good. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to create a venture-backed thing here. Like, this is bootstrapped. I just have some savings and from the last couple of years of working as a software engineer. But what's great here is that I haven't really had to pour my savings into this venture. I just seeded some initial money just so that there was payroll for month one, but in reality now it is now earning enough to exceed the expenses at least. Obviously, I will caveat that with I am not paying myself, which is obviously it's a big opportunity cost there, of course. But I am lucky that I can have some savings that I can draw on for my personal expenses. I'm just happy that all of the business expenses, our office space, payroll, that kind of stuff, is covered, and more. So, and that's the craziest part, is that I'm making a lot less than I've, ever made, of course. But I'm happier than ever, really. This is just so interesting. I'm working harder. I'm making basically nothing, but I'm so happy. It feels like such a privilege to be in this position, to be able to work on such a fun variety of problems, both internally and externally. And I'm still just blown away that we're only 3 months in. I think this is going to be such a rewarding journey based on how it's going. And my goal here is to share as much of that as I can on here. At the end of the day, I'm writing this. I'm making this content not really for anyone in mind, particularly maybe someone like myself, in the sense that someone who's maybe who at some point would like to start something, because that was me for a very long time. But honestly, I'm just doing these videos now just to continue exploring my own psyche, my own thoughts. I have a website, gabrielruby.me, where I write, some stuff, and really it's a variety of things, to be honest. And that has been what has really gotten me into writing and sharing, to the point where now I'm currently running 2 newsletters, my website where I blog pretty frequently, at least. I mean, I would say it's maybe once or twice a month right now. I'm still working on that, but I've posted a few dozen posts at least, so it's not too bad over the last year or two. And I also journal a lot. Right now, I'm already a third of the way through this is my second journal that I just started a month ago. Actually, no, 3 weeks ago. So it's interesting in that I'm writing and creating more stuff than ever before, and it still feels almost not enough, because this is the stuff that is letting me really understand what it is that I want out of life, out of business, out of my relationships, just out of everything. And so I just can't help but to do more. Anyways, I'm so excited about what the next several months look like. What's really big here too is that I actually just moved to San Francisco. I think this place gets a lot of shit for the state that it's in, but I have to say I slept on it. This place has been really enjoyable. I think you can find a lot of people outside of tech as well, which is cool. I've met a lot of really interesting, creative people here. People here that have honestly made me just want to be and do more. Not that I'm not enough, to be clear. If anything, it's those two thoughts that I'm carrying simultaneously, that I both know that I'm enough as I am today, but that I'm energized when I do more and when I show up for myself in some of these new ways. Even just making, writing, creating videos, all this kind of stuff that I've been doing recently, it has been fulfilling. And I think being exposed to people who operate very differently from yourself can be quite beneficial. And here I've been able to really find that quite easily. This is also the second time in my life that I live in a city that's walkable and has transit, which I think is a big part of it too, actually. When I lived in Vancouver, British Columbia, I will say that it was comparable in the sense that I was able to meet a lot of people pretty easily, get around pretty easily, all that kind of stuff. But it's also quite different. Vancouver, if you have been in Vancouver, you might know it gets quite gloomy for most of the year. And to be fair, I haven't been in San Francisco for that long yet to know, to experience the fog. I haven't actually really experienced the fog yet. I'm only a month in. But the weather here, I understand Californians a bit better now. It's like life is good, you just go outside and it's sunny so much. I'm from Miami, and I'm used to, random rain showers and all this kind of stuff. A lot of sun too, to be fair. But here it's nice and cool, sunny. It doesn't really rain. I don't know. It's interesting. People here are just out a lot, and it's easy to bump into people that you've seen before. And each neighborhood is has its own story. It's its own corner of the city that has just its own psyche and its own personality. I really love that about the city so far. I've been mostly in Hayes Valley, but I also do spend time downtown. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Anyways, this is just an interesting moment in time that I wanted to capture. I feel a lot of gratitude right now. I feel very lucky. And to that end, it only pushes me to want to keep showing up for myself and for those around me, because I think that we all, each and every day have the capacity to make such a difference. Even if it's just bringing a nice mood to the room that you're in, to the people that you're around. There's so many ways in which you can show up. And I'm here just putting out good energy. And I hope that if you're watching this, if anyone watches this, that you enjoy some of this energy too. if you like this format, because this is kind of new for me actually, where I'm talking to you like you're a friend in the room. If you're liking this format, and if it's not too long, or just write a comment if you have any thoughts on this. Either way, I think I'll keep doing this kind of video. It feels really nice. It has the same feeling for me right now as when I'm like writing a blog post that feels authentic to me. Like the latest issue of my newsletter, actually. If you're curious, I'll drop a link in the description for my June newsletter. That was a nice one to write. That one just came from the heart. I wrote it like in one evening. It really was just me being true to myself. I was writing about how I went from being like hyper introvert to being now an extrovert, and how that journey has been for me, and how rewarding it's been. Anyways, thanks for watching. If anyone's still watching, and I'll see you for the next one.